So in our previous class, we were discussing this shloka. Let's recite this once again. सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. Give up all variety of religiousness and just surrender unto me. And in return, I shall protect you from all sinful reactions. Therefore, you have nothing to fear. Bhagavad Gita 18.66. Unfortunately, our disease is that we are rebellious. We automatically resist authority. So, like today only Prabhuji was giving this example that Prabhuji has told one trick to chant very nicely. What is that trick? Let me just discuss that with you. While you are chanting, first of all, you just inhale from your nostril and then you try to chant 3 to 4 Mahamantras in one exhale. So, like this, if you will try to do like this, so you will be able to do your chanting very consciously, attentively. Plus, you will also get health benefit when you are inhaling from your nostril. Generally, when we chant, so we always inhale from our mouth, which is not good. That air the breath which we are inhaling, that is not pure. So we should try to do from our nostril. Just let's try to do this once. Let's try to do this. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare. So 2, 3, 4, how many mantras you can chant, it's up to you. But try to do like this. So Prabhuji was telling that when I visit temple, I tell this trick to devotees that you chant like this. You will be able to do it attentively. So devotees, they're like they were doubting that what is this? Inhale from nose? Like why to do such thing? Means Prabhuji was telling that people often resist from change, which will help them to advance in their sadhanas. So now this chanting trick will help us to chant consciously, to chant attentively. Plus we will also get health benefit. When you are inhaling from your nose like this, like deep inhales, deep breaths, so it's kind of pranayam. You are also practicing pranayam for almost 2 hours. So even if you don't get time throughout the day to do any kind of pranayam or something, so you will get this benefit while chanting only. So 2 in 1 benefits. And it is really very helping. It will also help you to get rid of sleep if you feel lethargicness or something like that. So it will also help you to not fall asleep while chanting. Like these days, what I'm doing, I have adjusted, like there is one uh, drum type in my house in which we store grains. So I have adjusted it like this. It is working as a standing table for me, like center table. So I just put my laptop on that. So I attend classes while standing and I chant also while standing. So it is helping me to like get rid of any kind of laziness. So throughout the day now, I often, whatever I'm doing, I do it while standing, especially the classes and chanting, which I do. So almost 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours like this. I'm practicing it while standing. It is really helping me very much to get rid of laziness. So, yes, we should always accept all those things which will help us to advance in our bhakti, in our sadhana. So, yes, Prabhupada is telling this only that our disease is that we are rebellious. We automatically resist authority. We don't want to follow processes, systems, rules, and regulations. But then also we have to do it. Yet, although we say that we don't want authority, nature is so strong that it forces authority upon us. We are forced to accept the authority of nature. So we can't neglect nature. Nature is so strong, it will force authority on us. We will have to follow. Even uh, if we are not, if we don't feel like following it, but then also we have to follow. Just like you will see people who are lazy, so they often get diseased because of their laziness. They don't do any movement from their bodies, etc., etc. Or they eat whatever things they want to eat, they just eat that. But once they are diseased, so now they are forced by nature, then that now they will have to um, practice some exercise, some movement, or they will have to avoid many things which they were consuming. Like I know one Mataji, she is foodie number one, but now she is diseased, so now she is practicing to avoid all those things forcefully. Earlier only, if she would have controlled her senses, like not consuming so much of food or something like that, so she might not be avoiding it now, but now she has to avoid it forcefully because now she is diseased and she has to consume lots of medicines and stuff like that. So we are forced to accept the authority of nature. What can be more pathetic than a man who claims to answer to no authority but who follows his senses blindly wherever they lead him? So when you are following, like when any person, if he is so much into gratifying his senses, so then also he is actually servant of his own senses. He is following his senses blindly, wherever his senses lead him. Is it not? Any person, and you will see like people who are servant of their senses, like they are so much engrossed in gratifying their senses, they have no control on themselves. They will just run away where their senses will lead them. They will just watch anything rubbish, they will hear anything rubbish, they will eat anything rubbish, they will speak anything rubbish, or whatever other things. They have no control. But you will see devotees who practice their sadhanas on the regular basis. You yourself might not be, you yourself might not be observing that, oh, I'm not able to control my senses very nicely, but you are actually controlling your senses very, very nicely as compared to other ordinary materialistic people. If you have take this vow that you will only consume Krishna prasadam and not any unoffered food like got, then you have actually, like, it is really a big austerity. You have already gained so much of control on your senses if you have taken this vow that you will only consume Krishna prasadam, remnants of Krishna. offered food to Krishna. And by time, it seems natural. It is natural for us that we only have to consume offered food. So, yes, any person who is saying that we don't want to accept any authority, but he is actually following, he's actually serving his senses. He's actually servant of his senses, which is really very like kind of misery that any person he has no control on himself. He is speaking anything whatever rubbish he want to speak. Even he is not conscious that what he is speaking or whatever other things he is doing to gratify his senses. He have no control at all. And you will see such people are always they are frustrated. You might have seen such people around you. They are always frustrated. No peace at all. We, our false claim to independence is simply foolishness. We are not independent. We are actually dependent. If we are not depending on Krishna, we are definitely dependent on Krishna. But even if we are not accepting it, so we are actually depending ourselves on our senses. I will do whatever my senses want. This is actually foolishness. We are all under authority. Yet we say that we don't want authority. This is called Maya, illusion. Maya means that we are claiming things, we are accepting those things which are actually fake, which is illusion. That's it. So same way, we all are under authority, yet we say that we don't want authority. This is called Maya, illusion. We do, however, have a certain independence. We can choose to be under the authority of our senses or the authority of Krishna. So we have only one independence, that is, we have only this freedom to choose, to desire. This is very, very much important. One devotee was asking this thing to me that she asked me that we are not independent. So if we are serving Krishna, we often means scriptures only tells us that Krishna is allowing us to serve him. So it is us who made this desire that we will serve Krishna, and that's why Krishna is just sanctioning that desire. Earlier we were desiring to serve our senses. So Krishna was sanctioning that desire. That okay, you want to serve your senses? You serve that. So we are actually independent. We have this freedom to choose because we are Tatastha Shakti of Krishna. Tatastha Shakti means we are at the mid part. Just like you will see Tat of the river. So you will see we have choice. Either we can go inside the river in water or we may remain on the land. We have this independence. We have this freedom to choose whether we want to go in water or whether we want to stay on land. So same way, we have this freedom to choose to be under whether we want to be under the authority of our senses or the authority of Krishna. So definitely we had this desire, we chose to be under the authority of Krishna, and Krishna sanctioned our desire, and that's why now we are able to serve Krishna. And the more we serve Krishna, the more this desire of serving Krishna comes. And Krishna more sanctions that desire. So this is like never ending. One very amazing point Prabhuji was telling, that our every moment is very, very important, very precious. We often hear this, that time is very precious, the time which has gone, it will never come back. So we should invest every moment of our life in what? Being Krishna conscious. We were not aware of this thing earlier, but now we know this. So, like earlier also, like there were many reasons of me following the raw diet. One reason was to, the very biggest reason was to save time. Saving time from, like I wanted to save time for not, I wanted to save time from exercising, from cooking, and whatever things we have to do for digesting the food. So I wanted to save that time, because I was assuming that I'm actually wasting my time. But now, like following raw diet is not simple thing, so I'm not following it now. But yeah, what I have done is I have adjusted things which will make me remain, like I will be in Krishna consciousness only. How? Like today only when I was practicing yoga, so I have one playlist of yoga which I practice. So I have edited those videos. So in background, uh, I have put kirtans, Hare Krishna Mahamantra Kirtan, and that lady, which whatever she used to instruct. She instructs that you do this, you do that. So I have just, uh, like I have removed her voice, and instead of her voice, I have put Hare Krishna Mahamantra Kirtan. So today, when I was practicing Kirtan, I was like consciously hearing. Consciously, I was breathing while hearing Kirtan, and it was very blissful. So we should not try to cut things which we can't cut, at least now. We should try to make it Krishna conscious. That how can you connect that particular thing with Krishna? So, like earlier, also when I used to cook, I used to hear Krishna Katha, and now also I'm doing that. So, even if it's taking like 1 or 2 hours for cooking, but then also it's nice only because side by side I'm also hearing Krishna Katha. So, point is, we should try to, whatever we are practicing, whatever we are doing throughout our day, we should try to make it Krishna conscious. The idea is to think of Krishna. The idea is to be conscious about Krishna. Krishna should be in your consciousness. This is the formula. So now whatever you are doing, you just have to adjust, you just have to transform those things like this, that Krishna should be in your consciousness. You don't have to forget Krishna. At least we should try like this. The best and ultimate authority is Krishna, for he is our eternal well-wisher and he always speaks for our benefit. Since we have to accept some authority, why not accept his? So if you are becoming servant of your senses and your senses are always beating you, is it not? Slapping you all the time, kicking you, slapping you, or punching you. Your senses are always behaving like this with you. So, if you really want to become a servant, then why don't you become servant of Krishna? That is intelligence. Simply by hearing of his glories from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and by chanting his name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, we can swiftly perfect our lives. So this is very, very important point, that our goal is to become Krishna conscious. This is the summary of Krishna consciousness, that you have to think of Krishna always, and you don't have to forget Krishna always. But in case if you forget Krishna, like first point is that you remember Krishna always. Second is that you don't forget Krishna. Never forget Krishna. But in case if you forget Krishna, third point, if you reach at third point, the lowest point, that you forget Krishna, then you jump on first point again. Remember Krishna. How to remember Krishna? You just chant Hare Krishna. Now, this also, like, I'm really, really liking this thing, that when I go for walk, I just loudly chant. Like, I just kind of shout, because in morning you will see around 6 a.m. no one is there on the road, and there are so many trees, and sometimes dogs also, but I don't speak mantra much loudly in front of those dogs, otherwise they might run after me to bite me. Anyways, so yes, I'm really liking this thing, that I just chant loudly, consciously directing Maha Mantra towards those trees. Like consciously, that after hearing this Maha Mantra, these trees will get liberated. They are getting liberated immediately. They will definitely get human form of life in their next lifetime. And they will definitely get this chance to serve Krishna. You can also try sometimes, if you go out, try to go, or maybe, like, you can do it in any way, whether sitting somewhere. Basically, idea is to give, you have to make other people, you have to put them in contact to Krishna. And when you do like this, like when you are consciously directing Mahamantra towards other people, it automatically, like immediately, it becomes tasteful. I'm really observing this thing. It immediately becomes very tasteful, very blissful when you're consciously directing Mahamantra towards beings. Even if they don't understand, if they are not understanding the vibration, but then also if they are coming in contact to Mahamantra, then they are getting benefit. So few days ago, um there was appearance day of Srila Haridas Thakurji. So Srila Haridas Thakurji was sitting in forest, and he was chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra very, very loudly, very, very loudly. So one person asked him that, why are you chanting so loud? You should meditate in mind. You should meditate in mind. But Srila Haridas Thakurji said same thing, that I'm chanting out loud so that these birds, animals, trees, plants, they can also get benefit of Mahamantra. And this way your bhajan also increases when you give, like when you direct mahamantras to other people, to other jivas. All right, with this, our very first chapter, spiritual knowledge through Krishna, of the book Krishna Consciousness, a Matchless Gift, completes here. We will start with our second chapter, in our next class if Krishna is willing. We will stop here now. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.